Hi, I'm Deanna Springer.
And I'm Dana Casey with a fun Stitch It in a Minute sewing project.
Next, we're stitching our jelly roll table mat. To stitch our jelly roll table mat, we'll be using 2.5-inch pre-cut cotton batting strips. We'll also be using Jerry's jelly roll jig and 2.5-inch pre-cut fabric strips. 2.5-inch pre-cuts are so handy. They're ready to be sewn right into your project. And I know you like to use them for piecing quilt tops.
I do. I like to make column quilts with my 2.5-inch pre-cuts.
Column quilts are a great project for 2.5-inch pre-cuts, and they make great binding as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're using them with the 2.5-inch batting strips for creating a table mat. And this is so fun to sew. You can make one for every occasion and every holiday and all the different fabrics that are available for the different occasions. And we're just using the 2.5-inch batting strips with a 2.5-inch pre-cut fabric strip. And we just align those together, and then we insert them into Jerry's jelly roll jig. And this is a really handy tool for making the table mat. Oh, yes. And as you feed the fabric and the batting together as one through the jig, I like to use some Clover's Wonder Clips and pin that together. Pin those layers together, because the first step we need to do is sew. We need to advance the maker as we're attaching clips and stitch. So head to the sewing machine and insert a denim needle. You want a nice denim 90 needle to stitch through all these layers. And we show it stitched already in this sample. And I keep this right in my lap with the supplies in baskets next to me.
Yes.
And it's on the floor, and then I'm just doing it continuously. And you just advance the maker and stitch. Stitch that straight line all the way down the entire strip. And this strip would be stitched. The first step is to stitch the entire strip. Depending on what size you want your project, you just keep adding strips together. You'd want to sew all your 2.5-inch fabric strips together as one long strip before starting your project, and then stitch the entire length with that straight line stitch, and you can see it here. The next step is to start coiling. And for our table mat, we cut a center circle. And you can just see we put a layer of batting in there so that it's the same thickness, and we have a backing fabric too, from another fat quarter from this collection. And we've started with that center circle. We've kind of fussy cut that America saying out of the fabric, and that gave us a circular center to start from. And then you just start stitching. You start stitching that fabric coil to the outside of that design. And you can change your fabrics when you sew your original strip together and just make a really fun table mat. And you can make it for any occasion and in any shape almost.
Right.
So this one we stitched for Easter, and we didn't start with a center fabric piece. We just started by folding the fabric onto itself like this. I've started a red elegance rug. I sewed an entire pre-cut together, and I'm making a rug with this. This is as far as I am right now, but we just stitched the two together and then just continue adding around and around and around and around. And it doesn't have to be round.
No.
You could make oval. So we made it oval for Easter.
Or egg shape.
You said it was egg shaped, and I didn't think about that until
but
you
it's
said
oval.
that. Right. So they're really fast and really fun to make. And pre-cuts are available in all kinds of colors and seasonal. And this is a nice Christmas one that would make a beautiful table mat. So we hope you'll give it a try. We hope you've enjoyed the Stitch It Sisters project. You'll find this pattern, along with a limited number of bundle boxes, at stitchitsisters.com.
Be sure to tune in again for another Stitch It Sisters sewing adventure.
In the meantime, connect with Stitch It Sisters and friends on our social sites. Stitch It Sisters is made possible by Bernina, Clover, Benartex Fabrics, June Taylor, OESD Oklahoma Embroidery Supply and Design, and shopnzp.com.
Bernina, made to create.